quicker with everything because I feel like it's easier for me to like stay. It makes things easier for me, okay? Shut up. So after arriving at Turretopolis and having better for me to grind now rather than grind, what is that in this run? There are 2 effects that you can say no. It's about, as you'll see later. It took who blocks my path. Easiest fight in the entire chapter. After defeating the Komodo dragon.
The video contains flashing lights and all that, stolen ideas, and yeah. Anyway, let's get into the video. Alright, so the journey begins with our mom just waking us up for school, I guess? I don't know. We wake up and go to school. Okay, so we make it to class, Alphys's class, and we're not very late, but we made it, at least, right? And we had to do some group projects and stuff, and we had to pick a partner, so obviously, I picked Noel. Because it's part of the story, I guess, I don't know. And then we ask if, Noel asks us who we could work with groups of 3, but burglary interferes with their monologue, and Susie arrives, yeah. Alright, so Alphys runs out of chalk, and we need to get chalk from the friggin' dusty closet.
Nom 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 nom.
So basically, you just catch Susie eating chalk in the middle of finding the chalk that you needed, but she decides to just mess around and stuff, and yeah. So we get to the closet, but it's dark inside the closet. Yeah, it's very dark in the closet. Alright, so there's just old papers around the floor, and it turns out the closet is pretty kind of large. No, how is it this large? Jesus Christ. Alright, so it's really far. The closet's broken. Alright, the closet is quote unquote broken according to Susie, but I don't really care. But so they just dip, but someone closes the door to the closet and they got locked. And then the papers start shaking, and then the floor starts to break apart, and then they fall. Alright, so Chris wakes up in a mysterious area how does this all fit in the closet? I don't get it. So so I save my game, and then our journey begins, I guess. There's these little umbilical cord things, and I don't know what's the point of the umbilical cord things, but I don't know. Slide down here, and then we see sleeping guys. Yeah. Ooh, attacking umbilical cords. Yeah, I forgot about those things. And then, why is there more save points after more save points? What the hell? So I solved this incredibly easy puzzle where I had to just close the eyes. I don't know. Anyways, so and then more sliding, and then we reunite with Susie. Yeah, nice. And then so we have to do more monologuing and all that. Yeah. Alright, so we make it over here to this giant pillar, and Susie claims there's a black man standing on top of there, and then the black man attacks Susie. So now we gotta run from the black man. And we just dodge all these card symbols. I don't know. I don't gamble. So yeah, just do more dodging. Totally did not take a single bit of damage there. Jeez. Alright, so we have to dodge more of the friggin' clovers. We just dodge all those. Definitely did not take damage there, and oh my god, do I have 7 HP? Jesus Christ. So we make it to an even darker area, and then we go right, and then it's a castle town. So Susie is surprised that we're not dead and all that. And we make it to the castle where and then we're greeted with a voice. Apparently, Chris and Susie are here. It was according to a prophecy or something. Yeah. So the voice commands us to go forward and meet Road Man, Kingdom of Darkness, Legend at 1. Hey, yeah. Listen to his tale. Alright, so here's the prophecy explained very terribly. So, Okay, there's more. Yeah, I skipped that, and then robed guy is supposed to help us or something. I don't know. We have to save the world, and then Susie just declines. Like I have to give a tip to a waiter or something. Yeah, and then we have to. He just talks to the rope dude, and then my table. Jeez. All right, so Susie has no intention for saving the world, so yeah, so she's gonna dip, but then the rope guy gets jumped by this dude. His laugh kind of sounds like Santa Claus or something. So this dude is called Lantern. He has a bike. He looks pretty sick. Yeah, and then he's gonna try to stop us from stealing the dark fountain, but yeah, he has to do monologuing. You have to go east somewhere, and I don't know how to explain this. So we fight him, and obviously I'm just gonna act since this is an attackless run. But for Susie, she doesn't want to obey me, so she just attacks at random. So that doesn't affect the round, don't worry. Alright, so after dodging more easy attacks, we compliment him. And then Susie attacks, and then more attacking and all that. Incredibly easy game. Well, not really easy, but I'm just decent at the game, okay? But his attack power goes sideways. What? When Susie attacks, and then Susie just... Lancer just runs us over with his freaking motorcycle. And then we warn him, then Susie attacks him again. But he missed! Now, more easy attack, and then we should beat him here. Yeah. Alright, so Robe Dude is okay, and he's gonna introduce himself, and it's a black man. His name is Rouse. Yeah. Yeah, so Rouse is gonna be friends with Chris and Susie to save the world and stuff. And Susie just wants to get out of here so she can get good grades in school. Yeah. Alright, so this dude Rouse is the prince of Castletown, and yeah, I don't know where the other people are, but I don't know, I don't pay attention to monologuing and stuff. So anyway, I go down, and so then I go down and then go east, and then the training dummy. Yeah. So I say yes, and then yeah. So this is basically the tutorial Deltarune. So I dodged the pretty simple attacks, gain 2% TP. And now, so Rouse encourages me to fight, but this is an attackless run, so I defend this, but that doesn't do anything. So she just forces me to fight, which I just, yeah, that's not gonna affect the run. Yeah. So then I used Pacify ability, and then yeah, that didn't do anything, but why not? And now the act. Okay, acting, and I could, why would I do this? So I do it anyway, but it didn't do anything, but didn't do much. And so then I hugged the dummy instead of Rousey because they look the same. God damn it. So, and then, yeah, teaching us about sparing and all that. And then, yeah. And now we won and get $1 single. And then we get the manual and then we proceed to purple area. And then one of my top 5 favorite Deltarune tracks play. And then we have to fight this dude, Rudin. Then we lecture it about stuff, and lecturing them is just making them tired or something. Yeah. So now I defend and then use the pacify ability, and then we can just go down. And then Lancer's here, sick. Right, Rousey asks where Susie is, and she doesn't tell us where to go. Jesus, that face is Jesus. The icon was cursed. Oh, we found there's these 2 dark candies on the tree that you can collect. It tastes like darkness, and trust me, even though I never tried it in real life. So then I go back to check if there's any apple trees or whatever. And then we just keep going and we get jumped by 2 more Rudins. And then we lecture them about why not to attack us. And then they all become tired because the plot needs to happen. Okay, so then we pacified the other Rudin, and then we had to pacify the next one that keeps on attacking us or whatever. And then we lecture it just in case, and then we pacify it with using recipe. Alright, now that's out of the way, we can pass this guy who has to fix his cake or something. And there's a few more Rudins, and 1 Rudin and a happy. Just donuts. So then I lectured these guys about stuff, and then we can grind easy energy. So then we flatter him, and then we pacify the freaking Rudin, and then we can spare the happy. Yeah. So then we win that and find more apple trees, and then we pick up the other dark candy and find this pretty easy puzzle. Pretty simple puzzle. Yeah. So then we get past that, save my game, and then go down and then find this dude that just laying down. Go in random directions and find Lancer again, who's probably plotting his next scene. And we get jumped by all these happies. So then we X-flatter, and then we get to grind free TP. And then now that we can spare the freaking happies. Okay, now we got 1 more to deal with, that this dude. And now we spare it, and then we can leave 1-1 easily. And then Lancer asks for money, which we honestly respectfully decline. Now we have to do an impossible puzzle with 2 people. Yeah, this puzzle is impossible with 2 people. So we asked Susie to help us with the puzzle, and the freaking puzzle. this little checker piece that literally sitting there doing nothing, and we fight it, but Susie still wants to attack. Well, we try to compliment, use the compliment act, but then Susie just says no, and just attacks anyway. Yeah. But that's not a technical instance, it's automatic. Forced me to do it, but I digress. So then, more monologuing, save my game, and I buy some stuff from this guy. Sick, but I'm not gonna buy no freaking weapons since it's a freaking attackless run. And attack is useless, and defend is better. So we exit, and then we go back to the right. So we meet up with Lancer again, and then we just talk about stuff. And then Susie asked Lancer that he sounds like Santa Claus from Timu. And she wants to, just beat him up or something. Yeah. I don't know nothing about this. So Susie teaches Lancer how to be actually scary, but he claims that he is the one that's the scary dude. So then Susie literally bites his freaking head off. Jesus. And then she does this very scary laugh, and Lancer understands it now, so he thanks Susie, and then, yeah, and then he's gonna be, we're just jumped by more than Jigsaw, guys. So you already know, we're gonna act and spare. So we spared first dude, but Susie literally attacks the freaking, she freaking one-shots the second dude. So we defend, then spare, so she couldn't cause more damage to us. Yeah. And then we dip. And box puzzles. Oh my god, I love these. I genuinely like these puzzles, trust me. So we finished the puzzle and we just dip. We just leave like that. Simple. And then we go up here. And then there's this combination, I don't know, for TPs that lets you fight the freaky Jester dude. It's gonna be at the end of the video. I'll try to find it at the end of the video, trust me. So we go back down and then we fight this dude. We failed to attempt to juke through and some various guys up here. Then we do our act. I did not mean to attack with Ralph, so I just miss. And then we just pacify the guy that's low HP. Yeah. Yeah, we have to spare everyone more. This seems to kill everyone, Jesus Christ. Right, so we spare that pacify the room. And we're in board game area. Where we just run and stay away from the glowing tiles and all that. So, we get jumped by these really fast palm pieces from chess. So you know what to do. We're gonna act. We'll see it all lie, and then Susie falls asleep. After an easy attempt, we can spare. They're just tired in the first place. I don't know. Okay, more easy glowing tile thing. It should be pretty easy. And we meet Lancer then. The freaking dude. Wait a minute, is that a bucket?
This is a bucket.
Dear God.
There's more.
No.
So after Lancer just gets the bucket out, he just thanks Susie for doing stuff. Yeah. Alright, so we find this checker piece from earlier, and then he has a crown, and then he goes into big mode, and then we have to kill him. Okay, so after beating the freaking checker piece, Lancer just congratulates us on doing stuff and then, does stuff. Alright, so the freaking fountain's over there, but the Lancer's talking about his father, and he shouldn't do some bad stuff to him, and then, yeah. So then we keep going, and then Lancer gets depressed for some reason, because he doesn't want his father to die and stuff. Yeah, and then, he really wants us to don't beat the crap out of his dad, but he just dips because he needs to do stuff, and then we chase after him. Alright, so we're in jail, and so so I grabbed this iron shackle or something, and then just put it on, just because I think I need it or something, I don't know. And then I talked to Alcide, and then I had to explore more. So then I just check around, see what I can interact with, and then interact with the crack on the wall. And now he realizes that he has the shackles on. I have the shackles on, like, what the hell? Haven't you just seen me put it on earlier? Like, what the hell? And then Susie is in this other room and absolutely terrorizes this dude. And then she has to do a puzzle that she doesn't know how to do puzzles. So then we ask her to do the puzzle. Alright, so Susie finds Lancer talking to a red dude, and then he gets caught. And Susie has a little talk to Lancer on why he imprisoned Susie, I'll say Chris, forever. I don't know why forever. He's trying to stop us from stealing the Dark Fountain or something. I don't know. Jesus. So then Susie talks, yaps some more monologue. And then, and then Susie gets pissed because Lancer betrayed them. She haven't gotten this far yet. Alright, so Susie has a little pep talk with Lancer, and then they just forgive each other in the end. Yippee. Alright, so now we find the most funniest dude I've ever seen with the most ridiculously hardest puzzle. Totally difficult puzzle. of all of chapter 1. A 1x2 square radius box puzzle. So I solve it using only one move and then I dip. Alright, so we have another one of these puzzles with this freaking dude. And it's really easy. Come on now. So now this dude, his name is also Real Scarred, and then he whips out Checker Piece King. Yeah, this dude, we have to fight him again. This is a rematch, but we can now act with Susie. Alright, so we meet up with Lancer and we face this king, who is also Lancer's father. Yeah, because plot. Yeah. So now Lancer talks with his father, and his father is pissed that the Lightners are enclave. If you don't know what the Lightners are, it's basically just another term for Chris and Susie and Elsie. Yeah. So then Lancer's father talks to him about why you shouldn't befriend Lightners and all that. So he literally, his father gaslights his own son, great parenting him, alright? And then Susie just protects him, but he's gonna kill him if you actually try to hit him, and then they're gonna fight and stuff. So Lancer's dad, aka King, just straight up gives up because he's tired and all that from fighting, and then yeah, he has more monologuing, and then he just wants to trust the Lightners with peace and harmony and all that. So then Rousey decides to fall for his rage bait, and then decides to talk with him, and then he has emotional damage, and then Rousey decides to heal him, even though he's the bad guy. And then, yeah, he heals him, and then they literally get hyper beamed in the face. Alright, they try to get up, but Susie is about to get attacked, but Chris helps Susie, and they literally get super effective hyper beamed one more time. After all this, we go to seal the Dark Fountain, and there's gonna be an epic outro, but the footage got corrupted, so guess what? You're not gonna see it. Sorry, I'm sorry.